Hey, hello everybody. Hi. So good to see you, Luana. If you can, I'd love to have your videos on if you're sitting there tuning in. We've got almost 40 people registered to this, but unfortunately, a lot are actually in retreat right now on my team. So we're here in the group energy. I'll be sending out the replay. So please, if you are able to, I would love to see your faces because we're in for a good time today. I don't know about you, but I personally am so excited to connect with the vision of my future self and receive like an extra level of being juiced up by it to inform the activities that I've got on for the rest of the day. And just to sync up with that yummy feeling of alignment, right? So we're here for the magic, but we're also merging that with some practical, informative, visual graphics to explain exactly how to make a new financial reality possible. So thank you so much for coming live. Caitlin, Luana, Laura, Ashley, it's so good to see you. And this will be shared with the wider team and anybody who has been registered that is either already involved within my business, already involved on the wider team of doTERRA, or is just curious and interested. So we're going to be spending the whole first part of this call in your own practice. So my invitation is if you have any essential oils, anything that makes you feel like grounded and yummy, maybe it's an elixir that you like to drink, maybe it's putting a salt lamp on or a candle on, just set your space to feel really comfortable. And then we're going to be diving into some journaling. So make sure your journal is nearby with a pen if you don't have that already. Um, I just got sent Citrus Bliss from doTERRA for my last rank advance for free. This is one of my favorite oils, so I'm freaking stoked about that. It's got vanilla in it. Oh, it's so good. It's like the smell of joy. So I've just anointed myself with that. And I also have the beautiful yoga collection here. So the anchor drops is on the soles of my feet. The affirm blend is on my spine and the nape of my neck. And ascend, which is more of like the invigorating, uplifting blend, is on my wrists. So that's what plant magic I'm working with today. All of the essential oils to, I guess, like tap into vision, ground your nervous system, open the body. So really, really fun. Oh, you got Motivate for your rank advance. How amazing. I left my Motivate at my last event and it smells so good. So I'm very jealous of you right now. I think somebody went home with it. Okay, well, Luana, the plant magic is in our field anyway, so receive it, receive it. Okay, so we're going to rock through some slides because I myself learn through visuals and through doing. And so, as much as I love to receive information and consume and read and watch, I need the repetition. So, is anybody else like that? Right? Like they need repetition in order for the information to sink in. So, I actually learn best by teaching, which is why holding masterclasses, live sessions, group calls like this is one of my favorite things to do. And I want you to know that if you, whatever kind of business you have, in order to succeed, you don't need to be like that too. Something that I really prioritize when I'm mentoring my clients, whether it's been coaching and consulting creatives and entrepreneurs over all the years, or it's within my doTERRA business, it's about finding the unique blueprint of marketing and messaging and selling that works for you. So this is really something I focus on in my team. It's don't do it my way. It's do it the way that comes naturally to you, where you're most in your magnetism, where there's the most flow. Caitlin and I have just been talking about this a lot actually, because her thing is festivals. Like she will make anything happen to get to a festival, and I've watched her. And this is where her magic really turns on within the doTERRA business. She sells while she's at festivals, while she's dancing her ass off on a dance floor. Like it's just so cool and so satisfying that we have these avenues and opportunities to be paid to be ourselves, right? So that's really what we're here for. We're tapping into redefining your financial future self and long-term legacy. And for those of you that maybe aren't familiar with my work, I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this replay that maybe this is their first interaction with me. So I will give a very quick hello. Um, I'm Emily Hazel, and I've been running my own businesses since 2016, which oh my gosh, the years pile up now. That's what, 8 years. And I've worked with personally mentored and created websites and worked with branding and taught and coached hundreds of people during that time. I've facilitated workshops around the world, led retreats internationally, and ultimately at the core of everything I do is the blend of what we might call the feminine and the masculine. The feminine being the energetics, the emotions, the somatic, the mystery, the magic, the eros, and the creativity, and the masculine being logos, practical strategy, execution, focus, action, containment. And through everything that I offer, there is the both and. So I love to play in this paradoxical world, and I really think that as human beings, we are here to dance between and be the bridge. So the dōTERRA model really made sense to me because one, when you're running your own business, as I'm sure those of you that know and that do, it can bring up a lot of your own stuff. So when it's your own product, it's your own service, there's a lot of worth attached to it. There's a lot of emotional entanglement, which what we see out there in, I guess, typical patriarchal capitalistic life, there isn't the emotion attached. And that's really what we want to inject into it. But most often, our emotions get so in the way, and that chaos disrupts the true trajectory of success that is here for us because we're so emotionally invested, because we're so in our feelings. So what I've helped clients do is detach from, their own worth and their own value from what they are offering. When you're creating an offer or a service and it's such a reflection of you, it can be really, really fucking hard when you get asked for a refund, or when you get bad feedback, or when, there's a customer complaint. That shit really hits home, right? And so in the last few years of my business, I let website design and branding and these more tangible services fall away and focus more on courses and programs. And that was my product. I was the product, right? And what I found with myself and my clients was that we were so emotionally entangled and enmeshed with us being the product, because that was kind of glorified in in the industry that we were playing in, that we were just constantly sideswiped with emotions, and we would avoid the actions and the tasks that needed doing in order to advance our financial reality. By the way, I just saw myself in the video. I am wearing a top. It looks like I'm naked. It's just how we do things over here. So I'm sure you've had your own stories with money, your own experience with money, and that's where we're going today, okay? I want to first get some definitions clear so we're all on the same page. And that is these two words here, these two keywords. I'm going to keep the chat box up too, so feel free at any time if you want to ask a question or drop in a note. Business manifestation is actually something I've been moving away from in my business, but it unfortunately is kind of the terms that people are still really familiar with and really attached to. So here we are. But let's get this straight. Let's get a clear understanding as to what I mean when I say business and manifestation. I'm actually curious, before you even read these, drop in the chat box what your definition of business manifestation might be. Be so curious to hear what kind of words come up or what feelings come up, because these definitions are really important. And a lot of us that have been in the more spiritual new age alternative space, as I have for most of my career, the last 12 years, manifestation is like, it feels like so much more magical, and like the attract and magnetism, and like everything can happen with ease, right? And so, and I totally believe in that. I actually totally believe in that. It gets to be really, really easy. And ease comes from aligned action and aligned execution, right? We're not here to like sit around and avoid and hide. And a lot of my work is about supporting people to be visible, whether that's through their personal brand, through their content, through being seen. Business, so it says Caitlin, business out there doing the thing, manifestation, sit on your butt and let it come to you. Oh, I love that. Very simplified. So good. Business, exchange of value, manifestation, receiving the divine. Yes. See this paradoxical thing out there and back here, right? One's giving, one's receiving. Love that. They're both kind of both. They're both an exchange. They're both receiving and giving, right? So when they come together, all we're doing is actualizing the vision and the vision that we have through the skill set, the privilege, the abilities that we have. So business is an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. Now, that's a whole lot of words, but it's essentially saying it is engaged in activities that creates some kind of value exchange, right? The purpose of a business is to organize some sort of economic production of goods or services. This is immediately like obliterating the whole thing about pain point selling and like the demonization that comes from that. The world is full of problems, and when people have questions or they have challenges, other people have answers and solutions. So a business is an answer, it's a solution. A few keywords is vocation, line of work, pursuit, craft, calling, buying and selling. I love those words because there's an intersection there, right? There is an artistry and a mastery, but also a simplification that it's just an exchange of value, simple. Manifestation is an event or object that clearly shows or embodies something abstract or theoretical. The act of bringing a tangible desire or goal into reality, often by putting intentional energy into bringing these goals to life. This is the definition, right? I pulled this from an online dictionary. Can we already see how it's got so like skew with in the spiritual space? The act of bringing a tangible desire or goal into reality, often by putting intentional energy into bringing these goals to life. Some words: materialization, display, proof, evidence, declaration. Manifestation is what we make real, is what we realize, what we actualize. And so when we're in the process of manifesting, right, something that has not yet come into form, or we're only getting drips and drops of it and it's starting to take form, it has to mean that that energy is being put toward those goals coming into life. Now, what I see a lot, and this might not be you, I'm just speaking to my more broad general audience that holds these typical approaches, is that we use scripting, which is what we'll be doing today. We use visualization, another thing we'll be doing today. We use essential oils or self-pleasure or somatic dance or whatever kind of practice that you've used, right? Tarot cards, casting spells, new moon intentions, like all these beautiful fun things. But we use them without a connection to the thing we want to actualize, right? It's just kind of doing it for the fun of it. Whereas what I know I'm here and what I know you're here for is the tangible result. We love results. We love being result-oriented as humans because we get a thrill out of it. And the trick is, of course, once we get a result, we know there's going to be another desire and another result to chase. So the pleasure is found in the process. It's not necessarily about what you do actualize, but it's the process of becoming the future self that has it. This is where pleasure and joy and satisfaction is found. It's been proven through study that humans are happy when they see progress. Humans derive satisfaction and joy from like actually moving the needle and seeing progression. Who has felt, the overwhelm or the disappointment of realizing that, wow, this thing hasn't changed? Despite my work or despite my trying or despite my wishing, like this thing still hasn't changed, right? Whereas I know for sure, think of another thing where you have changed it. There's been the alchemical transformation of something. It might be, you know, I just got my hair done, right? I was blonde for 10, 12 years. And then I was like, I'm going to go dark. There was a progress. There was a change that literally happened, right? It wasn't a vision board of me with dark hair or visualizing me with dark hair or whatever. It was actually doing it, materializing it, where I got to experience the alchemy of it. Ooh, who am I now with dark hair? And this is where we still get to play in the magic, right? I think everything is a vision board. And I love living life like that. I love living in the magic. But I want to connect you into something tangible so that you're holding yourself accountable through the energy of responsibility and leadership that no one else is going to come manifest for you. So with that, let's get into the visualization. I don't want you in your head too much. I want you to allow yourself to drop into the body and see what wisdom is there for you around the topics of business, manifestation, and money. Okay. So get yourself nice and comfortable. I'm going to put some music on and we'll test how loud it can be. So Caitlin, I might get you to message me privately if my voice is too quiet. Oops. Okay, here we go. All right, so just checking that you can hear the music. Yes. Am I just a little bit too quiet, maybe? Okay. And all you're going to do now is just find that comfortable position and close down your eyes whenever you feel ready to do so. Or you might like to take a quick look around the room and just notice where you are in time and space, that you're safe, that there's 4 walls, there's a ceiling, there's a floor, it's got you. We're going to be here for about 12 minutes, just so your mind knows what position to take. And you're going to practice now just letting your body lead. Allowing whatever energy that's been with you so far today to begin to dissolve through the soles of the feet. And coming to deepen the breath. And what happens in that space between, where there is no instruction, where there is no one guiding you, telling you what to do, where there is no clear guidance? How do you respond? Without the to-do list, without the teacher, without the guide, without the coach, without the boss, without the authority, without the parent. What's left? And so allow that part of you now, that wisdom and higher intelligence, to make itself known. See if you can identify where in the body that intelligence lives most strongly. And as you zoom in, allow it to become bigger, to take up more space than your conscious mind. I want you to ask this part of you now to connect you to your future self. The future you that is in a different financial position than you are now. It might be 3 months away, 6, 12, maybe 10 years. Trust whatever you're given. And then, as if you're finding that future self on a map, pinpoint it. Feel the distance between the current you and them. And begin to pour yourself into the knowing that they exist. Somewhere on this life timeline, your future self is already living, breathing, working, earning, giving, being. And so tap into the reality of them. Not the make-believe, fantasy, maybe someday. Beyond time and space and distance, and the calendar days and years, or minutes, or hours. Just as you can plug into your past and remember it so clearly, I want you now to feel that you are this future self. Just having a memory of the past. First, I want you to feel like what it means to be in your body with wealth and money and purpose as your future self. What is your relationship to earning and saving and circulating? Perhaps you're even shown how much you're earning, how much wealth you're a steward of, how much money you are a conduit to receive, to vote with every dollar, what you spend it on, how you want the world to keep turning, how you want to gift other people generously. I want you to feel into the potential that's here, that's just ready and waiting to be unlocked in you. And it might be subtle. It might be the same amount of money is coming through, but there's a whole different energy. There's peace. Maybe you notice stabilization, consistent, recurring income of the same amount. Maybe you feel a widening and a deepening to your receivership, and there is so much more money to play with. I want you to just familiarize yourself with these sensations of what it feels like for money to be moving through you, The currency of this planet, our current system of moving and exchanging abundance and value. Nothing more, nothing less. Your relationship with money feels simple. And in this future self vision, what are you doing with money? How does money desire to be moved through you uniquely? Your skill set, your gifts, your natural born talents, your desires, your values. And just play for a moment in this reality where there is so much at your fingertips to play with. What do you do with it? What projects are you working on? How are you helping others and contributing to their well-being? I invite you to bring a smile to the lips, to really bring every part of your body on board into this visualization, knowing we're not going to be here for long and all you're doing is opening to receive the provision of your life right now. The breath in your lungs, the temperature on your skin, the safety. But right now, there is nothing to worry about in this moment. And so all those feelings of abundance and expansion and riches and luxury, how can you allow yourself to feel that right now? Because more money will only amplify who you are. It won't solve your problems. It won't take away your stress. Only you can do that. So perhaps deepen the breath and allow a releasing exhalation of anything you're carrying that is blocking this reality. Just find yourself settling in to the innate abundance here already, alive in you, as you. And so now that you're self-sourcing that overflow that money promises to bring, you get honest about what all of this is about anyway. The process and the pleasure found there of becoming who you're destined to be. The alchemy of transformation and change and the thrill of progress. As you claim this for yourself now, just knowing with every part of your being that wealth is meant for you. Why wouldn't you be highly compensated for your gifts? Why wouldn't you be paid to be a part of this planet moving in the direction of collaboration and equality and healing? And then finally, what's required of you now to integrate this? What's being called through you to choose, to act on, to create in order for this future self to become real? Taking your final few deep breaths here before we come out. Allowing all of this to just settle into your cells and let them sing. Let them hold the knowing of what you're creating right here, right now for that future self. And then slowly starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bringing that big smile back to the face if you haven't already. Rubbing the palms together, creating some friction. And then placing them over your eyes. Cracking the fingers apart to let the light in. As you open new eyes and come back to this timeline right here. How are we feeling? Put in the chat box how things are feeling for you. We're going to open up your journals right away. So stay in the beautiful space you're in. I'm going to put, there's two parts to this, and I'm going to put something on the screen for you to see. We're going to spend 4 minutes in each. So I've got a 4-minute song for each. So just so you know how much time you have. And I want you to not get lost on the details, but instead find yourself in the feeling. It only just has to make sense to you, right? So here we go. Scripting, as you may or may not know, has come from, at least as far as I know, the first introduction I ever had of scripting was from Abraham Hicks, the channel Esther. And scripting is essentially writing the story the way you want it to be told. It's becoming the author of your own narrative rather than the victim of it or the reactor or the responder, right? You're actually actively creating. So as you open your journal for these two parts, I want you to remind yourself of that authority, that you're the director of your life's movie. I'll just put this music on and then I'll keep this up on the screen for you. And in we go. So you can use this as a guide, just fleshing out what you saw from your future self, what information they had for you. who you were beyond the story or the limitations of the past. We're about halfway through, heaps of time. About 30 seconds to wrap this page up of everything you saw in your future self. And then flipping to a new page, we're going to come back to this current timeline and get honest about how to close the gap. So you've got a little bit more time here. I'll give you 5 to 6 minutes to become your future self now. This is where manifestation is in the present moment, not just something that's out there in fantasy land. This requires decision, choice, action. So following the prompts on the screen there, let them guide your next scripting page as if you're already doing it. About a minute and a half here now. Wrapping up your final sentence. Okay, I'm so curious for a little bit of feedback if you're able to share in the chat box. One thing about your financial future self, maybe it surprised you, maybe it's been with you all along and you know that's exactly who you're going to be, but you don't know when or how. So one thing about your financial future self and one action or choice you need to make. Now, this can be quite confronting, right? I had a few things come up there where I'm like, oh, yep, I'm sweeping that under the rug. And I say I'm going to do that every week and I still don't. And this is where I'm not prioritizing this and prioritizing TV or social media instead. It's confronting and it's meant to be. It's meant to be because our future self is calling us to focus. To focus. That's one of the main words that comes through for me. Ah, Luana, beautiful. And they just thought I deserve to be financially secure and independent. Yes, beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, from that visualization, Ashley felt grounded in a wellspring. Yum. Luana, light, energized, focused, and centered. So good. So keep those coming through. I want to hear the one financial future self piece of clarity and the one decision or action. And we're going to get into stimulating your brain a little bit. We're going to move through this quite quickly. You will get these slides and I'll actually be posting this replay on YouTube. So you will be able to access it again because repetition is at the core of everything. But I want to know actually if you are open to sharing, and you don't have to, you can send it to me privately or you can just keep this to yourself. But if there was a number or an around about amount that you imagine yourself being with. A lot of the time, I think it's easy for people to be like, yeah, 6 figures or 1 million or whatever. And for a lot of people, these just actually aren't the true essence of what is being called through them. So for you, what's the amount that you want to belong with, that you want to calibrate to and stabilize in your life, to live the life that you know you're here to live, to unlock the highest destiny timeline that is meant for you through your skills, through your desires? And when you have that number, I want you to keep that in mind, because what we're going to do is move through the different ranks in the business of doTERRA. And I want to connect your brain with that number and that lifestyle and what's required of you to get it. Because when we take the mystery out of earning, oh my gosh, there is so much more security, right? It's no longer this, what do I have to do? What job might come up? What, this might happen or that might change. And so I wanted to share these with you to make it really, really obvious and easeful to connect the dots to make it a reality. Because a lot of the time, especially women in business, I have found we don't look at our numbers. We don't like thinking about those kinds of things, but we have to know if we want to create it. And I remember when I was like this is years ago now, but really wanting to create six figures. That was just like the be all and end all to me. I thought once I do that, then the rest of life will be smooth sailing. And I'd only probably made, I don't know, like less than half of that a year at the time. And in my first over six-figure year, it was actually the sum that was 10 times the amount that I'd made in the whole decade prior. So it took me 10 years to earn that amount that I earned in the 1 year after that. And it shook me to my core because I realized that that 1 year was way easier than anything I'd done before. Way, way, way easier. And that awareness came from recognizing that 100 and however many thousands of dollars comes from this many clients at this rate, right? I simplified it. I stopped making it this like, hopefully one day, maybe it'll just magically happen. No, this is our responsibility in business, to treat it like a business, to respect numbers and containment. Okay. So Ashley's surprise was a different line of work and role. Ooh, interesting. Curious to hear more about that. And the action is a daily grounding practice combined with a wealth book. Beautiful. I love that. And then, of course, from that action, another action will reveal itself. If you're grounded and you're open and you're in gratitude, the next action will present itself, the next right action to take in your business, right? The one on time budgeting and sacrifice the less unimportant things. Awesome. I want you to identify what those less important things are so you can call them out. I want you to be like, my less important things are this. And actually, when I get honest, I'm spending 60% of my time on them, right? There was this exercise I did on New Year's where you write every single thing you do in a day, every single one. And then you rank it as to if that's creating satisfaction in your life or not. And it was so confronting because I'm like, wow, I watch 2 hours of TV every night, like hands down, like that's my way to relax. But is that 2 hours? That's a huge chunk of my day. Is it creating satisfaction? No. Is it leading me to my future self? No. Whereas that 2 hours could have been spent. What are things I want to do more of? Meditation, stretching, reading, etc., etc. Okay. How do you put a figure on it? How much do we need to be happy when we see so many happy without it? Yeah, I find it hard to monetize that. Totally. I would be checking in with your future self because that's a deeply personal number. So if you ask them what they need to circulate, because everybody has a different, not just need for their own lifestyle standards, like that's so okay and so personal too, but also what you're being called to circulate, right? To gift, to donate, to create with. To be a steward of wealth doesn't just mean I need, 5K a month for my lifestyle expenses or 20K. It might mean, wow, I'm being called to steward a retreat center, and that actually is going to require like a fuck ton of money. So whether that comes through investors, my business, whatever, but what's the amount that I'm being called to steward for? So that's the number I want you to familiarize yourself with. Hundreds of thousands would be nice. Awesome. Again, if you're not clear on your number, I want you to flesh that out. I want you to, because this kind of stuff doesn't happen by accident. Like millionaires don't happen by accident. People in multi six figures, it doesn't happen by accident. What happens by accident is debt, is staying at a same level that you've always known. That stuff happens by accident because it's our autopilot. It's what our nervous system is comfortable with holding and receiving. So in order to break through that, it's to get really clear as to where you are in your future and what you want to create. And then to take ownership that that's going to require an identity shift, right? Because what happens by accident is what we've always known. Otherwise, it would have happened by now, right? So this is where it takes a little bit of extra effort. So here's what I want to present as a solution, a possible solution. There is infinite amounts of solutions to earn, to create wealth, to generate consistent income. Infinite. This is not the only one. This is one that I get personally excited about because it breaks it down so my brain can make it tangible and go, oh my God, I personally have always wanted to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. Like that's what makes me feel comfortable, especially in our changing times. I have big projects that I want to steward. I have lots of luxury travel and lots of trips I want to take my whole family on. Like that's more than just $100,000 or whatever. So I'm deeply connected to that. And so when I was presented with this model, it shows me a very clear pathway of what it is to make $1 million. And I loved that. I needed that. I've been doing this alone in my business for so long. And there's so many different strategies and so many different approaches. And I was craving simplicity with my finances. So this was a model to make it real. Now, what we're going to go through quickly is the different ranks in dōTERRA. I'm only going to take you to the one that is, I think I've got in there the 6 figures. We're not going to go beyond that because I wanted you to just calibrate to those first ones. But let me tell you, it blows the lid off potential when you keep moving up those ranks. More than 97% of leaders that are already within dōTERRA and running a business stay with dōTERRA year after year. I find that an incredibly important number to share around the retention rate, because this is a pivotal piece. It's not what you can get excited about, it's what you can sustain. I remember a coach saying that to me once when I had this idea for a mastermind and I was like, oh my God, this is going to create 6 figures in one go. And I was just so like hungry for the instant cash injection and the instant burst and the instant impulse, right? And she said, can you sustain this? And my answer was no. I can't sustain hoping an idea comes down. I can't sustain strategy at the seat of my pants. I can't sustain it because I tried that and I got exhausted. What I can sustain is the compound effect of simple tasks and simple actions over time repeated. That to me feels really easy, right? So I find that incredibly interesting as such a high retention rate. It goes to show the company loyalty, the results of the products, and the magic of this compensation plan. So 2 key words to know, key terms. And again, for those of you that are already with me, you will have known these already, but it's just important to understand what I'm going to be telling you next. I'll be using this term, OV. So to learn OV, you have to know what PV is. PV is the value that is assigned to every product within dōTERRA. It is a global market, so we can't use the dollar amount because obviously a US dollar and an Aussie dollar are different, right? Depending, the markets change. So to, I guess, like level all of that out, to give everybody the same earning chance, we use PV. So every product has a personal volume number attached to it, dependent of how much it costs in each country. This PV, personal volume, is the amount in your account, right? So this is used to qualify you for your discounts, your commissions, if you were in the business and you get paid, free products. So Luana, you know, if you order over 125 PV, you get the free product every month. And then this is also the number that they use in order to pay you back in product points. So right now we have an amazing special that's if you order over 100 PV, you get 30% back in credit points next month, right? So we don't know how much to give you, what 30% of, unless we know your PV. I hope that makes sense. The next key term is OV, which is organizational volume. So when you're running a dōTERRA business, and that can just mean having one person that you've shared with, right? That counts. You have organizational volume. It's the team's overall volume. So not just your personal volume from your order, but from anyone else that orders within your team. Your team is just people that you have referred or shared this with. And it's also anyone that someone else on your team has referred to, right? So that's how it grows. So do those 2 terms make sense just before we move ahead? Yeah, cool. These are the kind of things that my brain really struggles with. So I over-explain probably, and you're like, yeah, I've got it. We're good. Keep moving on. So we'll go through the ranks. So the first rank is elite. Well, there's a couple actually before that, which are way easier to get, but elite is the first one where you're actually earning enough to cover your products. So I think it's about 4,000 US a year. So that means all of your products you're getting paid for, which is brilliant, right? This is 3,000 overall volume. So say, you sold a Meta Power bundle, which is 100 PV, that's 30 sales. Okay. I just want to legitimize that. Now, most often what is happening is there are actually way higher PV orders because people love these products and they include and they add more, or there are higher PV packs for people to start with. So getting to elite actually doesn't have to be that hard. I've chosen a harder route because my driving bundle is 100 PV. It's the Meta Power Pack because that's personally what I resonate with. But I know other people in the business, they're selling like 800 PV at a time, which, is only a couple when you're trying to go for elite because it's the full packs of cleaning and oils and all of that cool stuff. So to get your products for free, all you have to do is believe in the product. You have to just know, do I believe in the quality? Do I believe in the results that these are getting? Can I share this authentically with people? And that's kind of all you need to know. To build up into other ranks, there's a few other solidifying things like attracting people to build with you who are also interested in the opportunity, of course. But if you just want to earn your products for free and never have to pay for stuff again, this is the perfect one to go for. However, if you are wanting to earn the next rank, this is what I've held for quite a few months now. I think I got this in like the first 3 months of the business or something, is Premier. And again, you don't need to have anybody building with you. You don't have to treat this like a business necessarily, even at this point. I would suggest you do because it helps you move faster. But this is over 10,000 US a year, just this rank. This is only the second rank. And I want you for a moment to think about what 10,000 US, I'll get the proper number. I think it's 10,471. And actually, if you've got your phone open, I want you to convert that to your currency because that will blow your mind. Let me see. Okay, 10,751 is the average for this year. By the way, these numbers, I didn't just pluck them out of the ether. They're from the 2023 Business Builders Report on dōTERRA's website. You can Google this and look at this yourself. This is obviously the average earnings of everybody split, yeah? So 10,751, 751. A couple of us are in Oz right now, so I'm just going to do it to Australian. That's $16,381. So even if this is the rank, you keep your job, you keep your life, you do your thing, this is extremely doable to do as a side hustle, as something that's just like easy on the side. $16,000, what would that do in just 1 year? That could mean a summer in Europe. That could mean a brand new car. That could mean, putting all of that in savings. What could that mean for you and your financial future self? I'm so curious. When you say 10,000 US in earnings a year, is that if you don't use the money toward your PV purchase? The points, a lot of your earnings come from points, which isn't you receiving money. How can I explain this? I would say, just on the safe side, how did we get such a different number, Luana? I just did the conversion on because you did 10,000. If you don't use the money toward your PV purchase, how can I explain this? You get paid out with actual money twice a month within dōTERRA. There are 2 different kinds of commissions, but you also generate points. Points acts as money to use for your order. So say for elite, I'm getting a certain amount of points. I can choose to pay for my order, or I can choose to use my points or my balance. So before your commissions get paid out, you get to choose whether or not you want to use them. So it's a both and. Yeah. Again, this is just the average. As an example, like I still decide to pay for my order each month. I pay about 200-ish Aussie dollar. And then I'll use points on free products. So the points isn't actual money. That's different from my commissions. But because I'm ordering and because other people are ordering, that's also creating a currency for me. I hope that makes sense. So aside from just dollars, you're racking up points, which is epic. I just bought the Super Luxe Yarrow Plum Serum, which I think even on wholesale is $140. And my skin loves it. I ran out of it like 6 weeks ago and I was like, I am not paying for it. I will get this on points. And I just hit those points again. So I'm like, sweet. I didn't have to pay $140 for this, but it's so worth it. It's beautiful. But this is just a really great entry level rank that is easy to attain. There are literally thousands of people in the team that I am in that have got this rank. And, 10,000 US plus a year. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But here's where we're talking about replacing an income. So silver, the average earnings is $26.16 US a month. And this is where you're looking at helping people also build their business, right? The amazing thing about dōTERRA, and this is where it kind of busts through any like weird multi-level marketing thing, is you can out earn whoever has enrolled you. This literally can't happen in like any other business, right? Think if you're a checkout chick at the grocery store, you can't earn the supermarket manager. You can't out earn the regional sales rep. Like it's just not possible. And in other models, it's true that you can't out earn the person that has enrolled you, that they're like a hierarchical top dog. Our model means that if Simone has enrolled through me, Simone can decide I'm going to be a millionaire, but Emily only wants to get to silver. I can do that, which is so freeing and so fun. It means that there's nothing down the line that can fuck up your earnings and your team. You're like separate, if that makes sense as well. So what you're going to do for silver, somebody can add that up to, like, I think this was in Australian dollars, like 3,900 a month. So that's looking at like almost an average income. I actually don't know what the average income is in Australia, but $4,000 a month, probably pretty okay, right? 3,000 overall volume in 3 different legs. Now these dots are legs of your business. A leg is someone that you're supporting run their own business. So again, you can do all of this yourself. You don't need people to succeed under you, but it's a lot easier to grow with your volume when people are also making their own sales, right? I hope that makes sense too. Simone, it'd be great. I'm so glad that you're here for this part. So that's 3 elites. So if you can hit elite back here and earn your products for free because you believe in the products, you don't have to worry about how they're priced, where they're coming from. The sourcing is so incredible. We have such incredible resources to guide people to. There might be people that are super interested in low tox lifestyle cleaning and their home for their family. There might be people that just want to improve their performance. We've got everything for everyone, right? And all of those resources already exist for you. As a business owner, again, I'm sure you know what it's like to scramble to create resources, to do all the things. So for me, this is such a relief where I'm like, I can just pull from this video and from that part of the website. So if you've hit that and you've realized, wow, that was really easy to hit, can I help 3 people hit that? Yes, healing my body to work towards peak performance. There we go, Simone. And then I'm going to share with you just one more. This is the final rank I'm sharing with you today because this is the 6-figure in Australia rank. This isn't 6 figures. It doesn't convert in the States. It might in Canada. I think it was 90 when I did the conversion. But this is what we're looking at to replace a household income, right? This is the real money where you get to start playing with saving, investing, stacking. And Premier is that rank a couple ago, right? which again is quite easy to attain. Can you help 3 people to get that? So you have the 5,000 overall volume for each leg of your business. That's 15,000 total. Okay. So where I'm at in my business right now, through team support, team effort, and just like generally plugging away, it might seem like I show up a lot, but in terms of sales, like I'm still in my identity jump of being a salesperson, that's for sure. 5,000 OV is something that I get pretty much with my hands off now. So can I do that ×3 and get a 6-figure income? Absolutely. You will watch me do this. The next rank above this, platinum, is where I'm aiming to get this year, which is multiple 6 figures. And so I just wanted to show these. I hope they were helpful to just flesh out a bit visually of what's actually involved, because I know when something's presented, it's like, yeah, but how? Yeah, but what? Yeah, but how does that make sense? And how does that fit together? And for me, it's really important that women are empowered with numbers and with practical information to know that this isn't something that's just like words. It's not like, oh yeah, this can happen for someone. No. If this is something you want, this is how you create it, right? And again, I'm not usually a graphic and a numbers person, so some of you might get this in 2 seconds. I'm still getting this. I'm still like, wait, okay, what? Huh? Because in your back end, you learn a whole new set of systems, and it's so exciting. That happiness comes from progress, right? So I'd be so curious, wherever your financial future self vision took you, what level are you circulating? What is being asked of you? What decision needs to be made? And then that process of having the goal from your future self to your current self, that's where the pleasure's found. That's where we're learning and we're trying and we're giving it a crack and we're being in the arena. And in the meantime, sharing solutions that people are already looking for, that they already want, in multiple ways, right? Whether that's for their health, for their stress levels, for their anxiety, for their family health, for natural medicine, for true healing, for emotional healing, for something that just smells nice, for cleaning their home, like whatever it is, we've got a solution for them. Yeah. So it is very, very exciting times. Oh, I did include platinum here. Here we go. This is where I'm going. Platinum in Aussie dollar, that's a $200,000 year. And that's helping 3 people get to silver. So Luana and Simone, maybe you're my silvers. This is what is so fun, right? When you win, I win. And you can also be doing this at the same pace, at the same speed, even though obviously with this graphic there's showed as like a hierarchy, you can be doing it at the same time, which is really, really fun. Are there any questions about what I'm sharing here? Just drop them in the chat box below, because I know we have to move through this quite quickly, and this might be your first time seeing these graphics. I created these graphics because the ones that were on the website were like way too complicated, and I'm a designer. I'm like, how can I make it so simple? So this is where we are going. And it is a proven model. I mean, my dear friend Jessie, who I've known for years and years, she's the proof in the making. This is something that is real, money that can change people's lives, and they have, and they do. And I watch it on our team call every week, and it's so exciting. If you have people that order through you but aren't your power of 3, is there any impact for you? No, it doesn't necessarily. Your power of 3 is actually, so there's 2 ways we get paid. Your power of 3, but the uni level. Yeah. So at that level, it doesn't really matter. Jessie didn't actually get her 3rd level of power 3 because she was never taught how to structure her business in the back end properly. So she missed out on that recurring 1,500 US. But at this point, it doesn't matter in her business, right? Because she's after platinum. Oh, sorry, actually it's silver. It's all the way down here. So my next rank here, you're getting a percentage of all the global market sales. So you're then also getting a share of the business, which again is just so generous. So you're not only just a salesperson getting a commission, which is what all salespeople are, car salesmen, recruitment, whoever. You're getting a commission of the product you sell. But depending on how you're structuring yourself, as Simone shared, there's another way to get paid called Power of Three, which is just simply structuring people in the right way. And you're getting either a 50 US, 250 US, or 1500 US monthly bonus. That would be contributing into some of these averages for sure, Simone. I want to make that clear too. But again, when we're playing with those bigger numbers, not necessarily. So that is a really, really good place to start, though, in the early days of your business, to make sure that that money's coming in to contribute to earning your products for free. Great question. Great question. Okay. And the final thing I wanted to share with you, and I'm so excited that you both are here, is that I'm actually teasing a mastermind at the moment. This has been like on the peripheral for a while, where I obviously have oh gosh, how long? Probably 8 years I've been coaching in various degrees, health coaching with a US-based company, working for myself, facilitating retreats, workshops. I personally mentored hundreds of people. This is my jam. I love working closely to support and mentor people. And that's essentially what this role is. But I love doing it through the lens of my coaching industry experience, which is holding group programs and masterminds. So for those of you that want to create six figures, this mastermind is called Dripping in Gold, because the rank of gold is six figures in Australia. And that's where we're really starting to play with a whole new financial future and reality. So for those of you that are in on wellness, wealth, and long-term legacy being an obsession and something that you're truly open and willing to give yourself to, this waitlist is open now. I can drop that in the box. Actually, I'll put that in the chat box. There is only 6 spaces available. This will be very different to working with me in any other capacity. If you're interested in that high touch mastermind space to take you through 5 months to get to gold. This is for people that are like, I am willing, I am ready, I want to completely shift my financial reality. 6 figures is mine. Then jump on the wait list. There'll be an application process that opens in the coming 2 weeks, and then we'll get started at the end of next month. So very exciting. And I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped to get my people in there. So that link is in the chat box. And I'm just so grateful that you guys gave your time and energy to me today. Thank you so much for letting us go over. If there's any questions that come up for you, you know where to find me. DM is the best place on Instagram, probably, to chat about all things dōTERRA, future self, habits, feminine discipline. Like, that's my shit, you know. And I'll let you go so that we don't spend too much time now on Zoom. But let's continue the conversation over there. And if you're not already with us in dōTERRA, I would love to see you inside. If you're feeling that pull, that call, that curiosity, and you're like, okay, this makes sense. This is a way for me to make money. I've been asking for that, calling it in, praying for it. Maybe this is the answer, you know, let's explore that. So send me a DM and we can see what your options are for you and how this could potentially fit into your existing business or your existing job. And yeah, Luana's going gold, baby. Ooh, okay. Can't wait to have you apply. And I will see you so soon for another installment of one of these calls. Thank you so, so much. Bye, everybody.